everyone, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Whatever YouTube channel I'm uploading this to. I don't know. I tend to fluctuate. But anyways, as you can see, Super Mario 3D All-Stars. I'm just getting straight to the point here. Yeah, this thing's kind of a big deal, and it just recently came out. As of the recording of this, we're only a week off from the release of this. What is Super Mario 3D All-Stars? Well, why don't we just dive right in here? Alright, so basically, for those of you that may or may not be aware of this, Nintendo released this thing called Super Mario All-Stars. Not just once, not just twice, technically 3 times. It actually could technically be more if you count the second Super Nintendo version that was bundled with Super Mario World. That was a very good value in retrospect, but yeah, in these Mario games, oh man, most of these are legendary, and they're classics, they're masterpieces, all that stuff. Like, all 3 of the games presented here, we have Super Mario 64, we have Super Mario Sunshine. My personal favorite of the 3 games featured here. I'm not going to sit here and try and argue it's the best one, no, but it's definitely my favorite. And then we have Super Mario Galaxy, which I think this is the best game in the package, objectively speaking. And like I said, it's not necessarily my favorite, but this is definitely the most well-balanced, the most polished, the most excellent game. And luckily for you guys, I'm fixing to let's play all 3 of these. Maybe not necessarily back to back, but I'm going to let's play all 3 of these off of this collection. And before I get into this, before people start ravenously going to their keyboards and requesting that I do stuff like Galaxy 2 or 64 DS, which is a pseudo remake of Super Mario 64, which is the first game we're going to be doing here. We're going to be starting with this, and I'm going to go to Sunshine, and I'm going to go to Galaxy, all in the chronological order, okay? Because that's going to be the best way to do this. Like I said, please do not ravenously request that I do games like 64 DS, Super Mario 3D Land, 3D World. I would only do it if I could get other people to do it with me in like couch co-op. Otherwise, no. So, I mean, you can request 3D World all you want, but if I can't get other people on board, which, given the time of the recording of this project, stuff like that is just not advised. But I'm not going to say much more than that, because I don't want to date this video. Also, I've been rambling a really long time. Let's just go ahead and start Super Mario 64, alright?
It's me, Mario.
Now this right here is what you call an iconic title screen opening, or whatever you want to call it. Alright, so you can use this little hand over here, and you can mess with Mario's face. And you know, nowadays, this isn't really all that impressive. But back in 1996, when I first played this game back then, this stuff was mind-blowing, let me tell you. And yeah, you can use the right stick to move the head around. You're probably wondering, oh, you know, Mario 64, now that it's on the Switch, you can use the right analog stick instead of those C buttons, right? Yes, that's technically true, but I know what you might be thinking, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you that you should probably temper your expectations accordingly when it comes to the standards of what has been done with the games presented in this collection. Super Mario 64 over here is actually based on a later revision of the game that was only released in Japan. Apparently it was called the Shindu version. And I hope I didn't butcher any pronunciations on the Japanese language or anything like that. Shindu version. They added Rumble. I think that was like the only big thing that was added. But yeah, they added Rumble support. And there were a couple of other minor changes or what have you. One of those, actually, this thing going on right here is kind of relevant. There's this voice clip whenever Mario grabs onto Bowser. If you toss him afterwards, usually Mario will say, "So long, King Bowser!" But in the Shindu version, because in Japan Bowser is known as King Koopa, that would have been unfitting. So they just changed it to bye-bye, which is not bad, but it's definitely not the iconic one that most people have come accustomed to. Alright? Also, holy cow, I've been going at this for like 5 minutes and I haven't even started the game. I guess I just have that much to say about all these wonderful classics. Even the original Mario 64. I have a lot of nostalgic memories with it. And you can see I've already done 120 star run. That playthrough should already be uploaded on the channel. It's actually the first time I've ever done 120 stars in the original Mario 64 for the channel, because I've only ever done Super Mario 64 DS, you know, because I still consider that to be the definitive version of this game. But I think it's more accurate these days to say that Super Mario 64 DS should largely be considered its own thing, whereas the original Mario 64 is just its own thing. If we look at it that way, then what I'm playing here, it can arguably be considered the definitive version of the original Mario 64. In an official capacity. I know people have been able to do some pretty crazy stuff with PC mods and all that, but look, PC mods done by fans is one thing. Stuff that's done by the actual creator, the company, that's a whole different thing, alright? At any rate, I'm not going to touch this file at all if I don't have to. I'm going to let you guys know right now, for this Let's Play, I don't want to spend more time than I have to with Mario 64, and to a lesser degree the other games too. I do want to keep a good pace, so we're going to be going for the 70 star run, which is still more than half of the 120 stars, so there's going to be a good bit of content to go through actually, so let's go!
Okie dokie.
Dear Mario, please come to the castle. I have baked a cake for you. Yours truly, Princess Toadstool. Peach.
So is it Princess Toadstool or is it Princess Peach? Make up your mind, lady! Actually, fun fact is, around the time of Mario 64's original release, 1996, she was still going by the name Toadstool pretty frequently. Even in Super Mario RPG, she was still being addressed as Princess Toadstool. I think even her character name in Mario RPG is Toadstool, not really Peach. This is kind of a Dr. Robotnik, Dr. Eggman situation, except it's not really a regional thing as far as I know. It could be. I'm thinking about it. It could be a regional thing, but for the most part, it was just a random name change that they did. It's not really a big deal or anything. That said, since there's a lot of involvement with mushrooms in the Mario series, naming the princess of the so-called Mushroom Kingdom after a kind of mushroom actually makes a lot of sense. So to go back and change her name to Peach, that doesn't make as much sense. So anyway, welcome to Super Mario 64, the original 3D Mario game, and let me tell you, when this game first came out, I was only like 5 years old. I know I'm fixing to make some people feel really old, but yeah, it is what it is. And I never beat this game originally, alright? To me, back then, this game was a glorified tech demo, playground, whatever you want to call it. I had a Nintendo 64, I had this game, I just popped it in to play for a little while and mess around in the area, really, because, I mean, even for a Nintendo 64 game, it's just fun to just roam around and do whatever you want, you know? And all of the polishing that they did for the All-Stars collection, it really makes this game shine about as bright as it could without dramatically changing the actual graphics of the original game, which I don't think a lot of people would be happy with. So now that we're actually in Princess Toadstool's castle, we'll just say Peach's castle, because that's what it is. People call her Peach nowadays. Only the old fogies like me sometimes call her Toadstool. And even then, that's barely, because I didn't really get invested in characters that much back then. So anyways, you're going to start off here in the castle foyer. I think it's pronounced foyer. It's spelled like foyer, but it's pronounced foyer. I don't know what to tell you. It must be like some French pronunciation or something. I don't know. But usually when you start the game, you have no stars. All right, they're actually called power stars, I think. But you're not gonna have any stars, so your actual options for exploration are gonna be a little limited. There's a door over there. That's usually the first door people go to. And we have this door over here where you need 3 stars to get into, right? And then we go over here, there's a door with 1 star, and I think there's another 3... Yeah, I think it's another 3-star door. But what if you go over here? Well, if you go over here, look over there, that's a nice looking hallway. And down here is a door with a keyhole. We need a key to get to that. We don't have no stinking key. What do we get if we go all the way down here to this door? Well, you go to the castle backyard garden, I guess you could call it. And there isn't really anything here. But there is a sign here that normally says something like L is real, which people for a long time took that to be like a hint that Luigi was like a secret playable character or something. Which is really funny in retrospect because Super Mario 64 DS, one of the big things about it is the fact that you could play as Mario, Luigi, Wario, and Yoshi. So, honestly, the whole mystery of Luigi being a character in the original Mario 64 kind of lost a lot of its attractiveness because of that. But some people still clinged on anyway. Yeah, it is whatever. I can only spend so much time to talk about non-official Mario or any content like that. Anyways, here we have a painting. Let me tell you, it's quite the interesting painting we have here. A bunch of bombs, sentient bombs, just marching in front of it. But you know, I feel a compulsion to just jump into the painting. And what do you know? You actually go somewhere. That's pretty cool. Big Bob-omb on the summit in Bob-omb Battlefield. Alright then. So yeah, this is usually how most people will play the game. I'm pretty sure this is the only level you can access right now. Because, you know, I kind of just showed off any other possibilities, and there just isn't really any other possibilities right now. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. But, yeah. So anyways, yeah, welcome to Bob-omb Battlefield. And let me tell you, with Mario 64, you know, this game is fairly non-linear in a lot of ways, because you get a lot of options for how you can go about things. Like, okay, the mission involves King Bob-omb, and he's like at the top of a mountain, right? But we don't have to climb that mountain. We can actually just mess around with this Chain Chomp here. That's what the big monster is called, Chain Chomp. They're usually not that big, though. Like, if you remember the original Mario games, they're usually smaller than that. But yeah, you can actually get this star right now. And this is one wonderful thing about Mario 64 is that you really do have a lot of freedom in the choice of how you go about the primary objectives in a lot of these levels. You don't have to fight King Bob-omb right away. And yeah, you get 1 star, and now all of a sudden we have a lot more options. For example, on the 2nd floor, and the room with the painting of Whomp's Fortress on floor number 1. Also mentioned something about the princess's room. We'll look into that, but we still got King Bob-omb to face off with. You know, I don't really feel comfortable just leaving this painting with just that 1 star. So we're gonna go ahead and focus on the main mission here. Now I will say this, you've already noticed that I've already done a full 100% playthrough of Mario 64 on this 3D All-Stars collection, and there was one thing that I hoped that they would try to do with the original Mario 64, and that was to try and maybe modernize the camera a little bit. Sadly, they didn't really do that. And the camera, it's the same as it is on the original hardware, sadly, but for the most part, I do feel like the game is designed with the limitations of the camera in mind. And it is important to remember that this is one of the first 3D games ever to use a camera like this, because I know what you're thinking, hey, wasn't there a Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation? Wasn't that a 3D platformer? Yes, but it had a very linear hallway system going on, so there wasn't really a need for a fully 3D camera like what Mario 64 has. So now, after using that very not-so-hidden warp, also, sometimes if you go far away from the camera, Mario's model actually changes. I think you can see it right there a little bit. It's like a lower poly Mario. It's pretty interesting how they did that. So here we have, oh, I'm sorry, Big Bob-omb. That's another, like, old Nintendo, new Nintendo kind of difference in the translation, is that later on, his name is pretty much universally King Bob-omb, but yeah, sometimes he'll still be referred to as Big Bob-omb. And I'm over here just like, what's the freaking difference? Yes, he has a crown, but he's still a Big Bob-omb, you know? That descriptor will always stick. But, you know, other than having the crown, what else makes this guy a king, per se, you know? But anyway, yeah, you could consider King Bob-omb kind of like a practice for the Bowser boss fights, funnily enough, where you have to grab King Bob-omb from behind in order to toss him. You know, really easy boss, honestly. It's not really difficult at all. So, you know, you just... But it is worth noting that when you actually get a hit in on him, you have to wait a little while before he becomes slower with his turning. If you try to do it too soon, he's just not going to be vulnerable, sadly enough. I'm actually surprised at how much time has elapsed so far. Like, it's 16 minutes in, and we're still in the first course. But Mario 64 is the fastest paced of all these Mario games on the collection, so I guess it makes sense. So for the second objective in Mario 64, by the way, before we start that, talk to this pink Bob-omb over here. Right, okay. Yeah, that guy will prepare all of the cannons for you. This is very important to keep in mind if you're going for all of the stars. I'm not going for all of the stars, but I'm going to mention it for all of you that are looking to do that. Just because I feel like that's my civil duty as a so-called Let's Player. Yeah, now. But at any rate, for the second objective, you actually get to talk to this Koopa. His name is Koopa the Quick, by the way. And you get to race him to the top of the mountain where King Bob-omb was. And, yeah, that's a little repetitive, but it's something different. At least you're doing a race. You know, you're not fighting a boss, you're doing a race. But, let's just keep going past the chain chomp. Be very careful, though, because the chomp can get a hit in on you. There is, like, an area underneath to explore, but that's not really important for anything except maybe, if you're going for the red coins, I think. But now there's, like, 3 of these black balls down here, when during the first mission there was only 2. Some people theorize that after King Bob-omb is defeated, his corpse becomes one of those 3 iron balls. And I'm not necessarily sure if I subscribe to that theory, but I can at least understand why people would assume that. I mean, there's plenty of evidence to suggest that. But anyways, if you crouch down while you're running, and then push the jump button after you crouch, make sure you're fully crouched, by the way, or you're not going to do the long jump, which is such a great technique. It's in multiple 3D Mario games. Also, the side flip is another really good move. Oh, and there's a move I never did in the Speed Play, where if you crouch and attack, you do a breakdance. And we're just going to do this a bunch of times in a row until Koopa the Quick finally shows up. Because, good lord, I kind of speed ran that, didn't I? Not really. I'm sure you can do that a lot quicker than I did. I didn't use the warp. I'm pretty sure you can use the warp. In this race, anyway. There are other races in Mario 64. I'm pretty sure I'm going to show off at least 1 or 2 more throughout the rest of this Let's Play. But, yeah, there's other races in the game. And at least in one of them, if you use the shortcut, you're not going to get the star. Funnily enough. But now we have 3 stars, so we can open any doors that have a 3 on them. We basically now have access to pretty much every course in the foyer that you can access from the foyer. But I'm pretty sure there's 1 more star in there, but it's at this point, after getting the Chain Chomp star and the other 2, it's best to leave Bob-omb Battlefield alone because you need an item that you get later in the game in order to fully clear it out. I'm not going to be fully clearing it out myself, but that's for all of you that are trying to go for a 120 star run. Okay? But now we're going to come up here to the princess's room. Apparently that's what it's called. Even though it's not really much of a room, it's just like a little alcove with 3 stained glass windows and a sign. What does the sign say?
Mario, my castle is in great peril. I know that Bowser's the cause, and I know that only you can stop him. The doors in the castle that have been sealed by Bowser can be opened only with star power. But there are secret paths in the castle, paths that Bowser hasn't found. One of those paths is in this room, and it holds one of the castle's secret stars. Oh.
Actually, there's 2 stars here, but yeah. Welcome to the Princess's Secret Slide, and yeah, there's 2 stars here. One of them you get just for getting to the end, but there's another one you can get if you can get to the end in under 21 seconds. And yes, specifically 21 seconds. I don't know why it couldn't have been 25 or 20. No, they must have done a lot of testing on this to get that very specific number just right. Holy cow. But I don't know. I don't know if it's just because of the Switch control stick or whatever, but I find it a lot easier to beat the time limit in the original Mario 64 here in the All-Stars collection. But it is worth noting that prior to the release of this collection, I never really went back to this version of Mario 64 all that much, other than going back to the DS version, you know, for obvious reasons for the most part. But now, it's like I said, I think I'm going to try and put some more time into this version of Mario 64. Because this seems to be the only version people talk about these days, for one reason or another. I'm not sure why, because the DS version sold a lot on the DS. I mean, it was like the first game they released for it. Strange coincidence, I know, but yeah, it is what it is there. But yeah, it's so easy as long as you just hold forward on the control stick. You will keep a good pace on that slide. There is a shortcut you can do by jumping off early on, but I find that pretty unreliable. I'm gonna be honest about that, so we're not gonna bother with that. At least I would rather not bother with that. Alright, so with 5 power stars in our pockets, we're gonna move on to Womp's Fortress next. Because honestly, it's pretty similar to Bob-omb Battlefield, but the difference is you can actually get every single star here in Womp's Fortress. I almost said Whomper for some reason. But yeah, in Womp's Fortress, it's the second course technically, but for a lot of people it could be considered the first one, even though you technically can't come here until after you get a star in Bob-omb Battlefield, but I guess it's whatever. I guess this one's a little bit more interesting, even though it's a little bit more confined compared to Bob-omb Battlefield. I don't know if this is bigger or smaller than Bob-omb Battlefield, though. I want to say it's a little smaller overall. I could be wrong. You know, feel free to correct me in the comments if you choose to do so. At any rate, though, yeah, Womp's Fortress, between this and Bob-omb Battlefield, I like this one more. In terms of the early courses here in Mario 64. Like, it's fun. I mean, it's pretty simple, all things considered, but I do think it's fun. And, you know, the limitations of Mario 64 aren't going to be very evident in this particular course. And I just find it nice, straightforward. You basically climb a tower in order to get to the top, because for this first mission, guess what? You gotta fight a boss. But it's not King Bob-omb. I think he's a King Whomp, right? Just a Whomp, but he's larger. It makes me so mad! We build your houses, your castles, we pave your roads, and then still you walk all over us. Do you ever say thank you? No. Well, you're not going to wipe your feet on me. I think I'll crush you just for fun. We're probably going to make him grovel or something. Or is it gravel? I don't know. Also, that's a thing you can do. Okay, let me see if I can do that again. Oh, wow. I can't actually get the hit in on him, though. Oh, come on. Okay, that's more like it. Okay, one more time. Can we do that? One more time. Ah, King Womp. It's a shame we'll never see him again in the series. Or will we? I don't know. When I said that, there was like a twinkle in the back of my mind for some very odd reason. I wonder if we'll ever revisit that thought. Probably not. Alright though, yeah. First mission is really simple, but guess what? The second mission, you gotta go back to the top of the fortress. Oh no! Well, actually, I think we may have an easy solution for this. Climb up. Wait, hold on. Hold up a minute. Hold up a minute. It's supposed to be something that happens if you climb this tree, but for some reason, that something isn't happening, and now I'm a little bit miffed, to be honest. Oh well. It is what it is. Once you get used to the advanced controls of Mario 64, you can do some pretty cool things, all things considered, but keep in mind that, you know, the game was on the Nintendo 64, and I'd argue that most of the limitations probably came from the Nintendo 64's original control scheme. If you ever look up the Nintendo 64, the original Nintendo 64 controller, and if you've never touched a Nintendo 64 controller in your life, which a lot of you younger people, I have to assume that's probably the case, just letting you know, you all dodged the bullet by starting with, I assume, the GameCube controller instead, because, oh man, that thing is like the polar opposite of the Nintendo 64 controller. Because look, the Nintendo 64 controller is like night, and the GameCube controller is like the day. It's the light, and the Nintendo 64 controller, that's the freaking darkness, okay? And you don't want the darkness. I know you think you might want the darkness, but I'm going to tell you right here and right now, you don't want that. Because, you know, I played with that controller for way too many years, and way more than I care to admit, okay? And I'm going to say that right here and right now. You don't want to touch that. Alright? And I'm just going to lay it right down on the floor right now. Okay. Shoot into the wild blue. I'm pretty sure we're going to need to investigate a cannon. So let's talk to this suspicious looking pink bum over here. Give me this cannon. Come on. Yeah, get on that cannon. I don't think you need to use the cannon for this, but I don't know. You know what they say in life, if you can't work something out the normal way, use a cannon to prove your point. Okay, but I need to remember where in the heck I need to shoot. I mean, that pole over there looks pretty good. I think I see a little bit of a pole down there. But, I don't know, I'm looking at these coins over here, and I don't know. I mean, this is kind of interesting, I guess. Ah! Oh, wow! Look at that! It looks like something spawned when I hit that, Oh, dang! That's a star, alright. Well, for some reason, when I ran into that wall, when I was shot into that wall, I actually lost some health, which normally would make a lot of sense. This is a Mario game, so I don't care for that. So let me see if I can actually reach that star. Reach for the stars. Oh my god, I can't believe that was first try. That actually was first try. I didn't edit nothing out. I didn't jump cut. That was the first try. That star can be pretty deceptive, though. I'm not going to lie with you guys. But now we've recovered 8 of these stinking power stars, and you can open the big star door, and Bowser's ahead. Can you hear the princess calling? I don't hear nobody calling because I'm not done with Womp's Fortress, okay? I like this place. I like the vibe of this place. And we still never shot into the wild blue. Well, oh wait, it's just something about blue. Maybe we need to collect blue coins. Okay, well, let's sneak our way on up here to this piranha plant. Sleeping away. And then we kill him. We punch, and we kick. And we kick him in the dish bin, because that's what the Mario does, as you see. Ribadadachi. Or something like that. I don't know. I find it funny. I tried to do an Italian accent, and I don't know. I seem to do a better job if I do an Irish accent or something. Which wouldn't make a lick of sense at all, so I'm not even going to try that. So, I don't know. Let's just collect coins, I guess. No particular reason. Holy cow. That was pretty close. Maybe I ought to be a lot more conservative with my long jumping. You think? Or maybe the speedrunners in the audience can argue otherwise. Why can't I do a freaking crouch jump off of the slope? Man, what is it with Mario games and slopes? Seems like sometimes they work out and sometimes they don't. I think I almost fell right there. That would have been pretty bad. Right, let's just climb up the steps like a heathen, like a normal human being, I guess, and alley-oop, jump on the thwomp that way and get the red coin. About freaking time, good lord. Alright, but now we got another piranha plant. You're probably wondering why these are called piranha plants. Let me put it this way. If you've ever seen a piranha, it's a kind of fish. A fish that if you were to get close to in their body of water that they have chosen to live in, they're going to eat you up. And it doesn't matter if you're edible to them or not, they're going to try and eat you up. Alright? Now, blend that with a common plant, and what are you going to get? Something that was very likely inspired by the Little Shop of Horrors. That is not the first time I've brought that up in a Let's Play. I already know this for a fact, and that's very weird. That I bring up a movie that I don't even think I've seen properly. So many times, but yeah. There's like a plant monster in it, so that's totally going to be one of the first things that comes to mind when you think of a plant monster. Like a piranha frickin' plant, alright? Oh god, why did I not get that red coin? Come on, Mario 64. You gotta be more cooperative than that. Yeah, I'm trying to make you look good for the audience here. And I know that isn't always an easy thing to do. Because I will say, this game has aged. And sometimes it'll show its age rather badly. But I gotta say, so far so good. Things have been going pretty smooth. I have yet to lose a life. Wait, there's a live system in Mario 64? Oh my gosh, how outdated. We're gonna have to stomp this flat, aren't we? Like that, no. Even though this game is 24 years old, I think this game holds up pretty stinking well. I gotta be honest, I mean, yeah, the DS version has it beat in a lot of ways. Maybe not necessarily controls, because I mean, at the end of the day, you're talking about playing a 3D game with a D-pad. And yes, you can play Super Mario 64 DS with a circle pad if you're playing on the 3DS, which, it helps. I'm not gonna lie, it helps, but the end of the day is still kind of a limited movement. Okay, we're at 93 coins. How many do you get from a womp? What is that, 5? 6? Okay, it's 5. Let's find another womp as a sacrifice. Alright, woo! That was some pretty slick moving, I'm going. So, what I was doing this whole time, you know, I was trying to act dumb and not really acknowledging it, but I was doing a 100 coin star. And the amazing thing is, in Mario 64, if you get a 100 coin star, guess what? You don't get booted out of the level. Keep that in mind when we go to Sunshine. And all of a sudden, you might be singing a different tune. Alright, okay. So, I'm gonna try... Okay, hold up. Oh, dang, man, I can't believe I got that to work. But, okay, go down the pole, and look at that. This is the star you get for shooting into the wild blue. Alright, there we go. Now we're at 10 stars, man. We're 1/7 of the way through the game already, because I already said this is 70 stars. And before someone asked me to do 120 stars in the comments, and I'm not gonna do it. Alright, we're gonna go back here and see, there is the star for the red coins. Speak of the devil, the red coin star, we're gonna get this one. I don't think I got all the red coins in the last run. I'm shocked I was able to get everything without getting the 8 red coins, but yeah. We gotta be a little bit more proficient if we want to get the 8 red coins, rather than 100 of any kind of coin. Kinda weird how that works, you know, the coin economy in the Mario series, right? Wait, hold up, hold up, I got this, alright. See, I told you, I got this, alright? I happen to be a veteran of the 3D Mario games, okay? Even though original Mario 64, it's a little tough to get back to, but it's not impossible. You know, this game has aged remarkably well, and I strongly recommend playing this on the All-Stars collection. Any other way, though, I can't really advocate for it. Playing this on original N64, no. Unless you want to use a specific glitch that was removed in the Shindu version, which is the version that All-Stars is based on. I think it's called Backwards Long Jump. I think that's the glitch that was removed. I hear it's pretty useful for speedruns, but I don't really speedrun video games, so you'll have to take what I say with a grain of salt, or a grain of rice, or whatever grain you normally like to shoot for. But we're going to go ahead and get this red coin started. I think we're going to call it a part here for the first part. I know a lot of this, spent like 5 or 6 minutes on the menu of the 3D All-Stars collection talking about the series in general, but I think it's worth talking about, honestly. This collection is really great. I can't recommend it enough, and some people are like, $60 for this, for 3 Mario games? Yeah, it's kind of worth it because these 3 Mario games are really stinking good. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. If you think these games are bad, man, I want to know what kind of good games you're playing if you think these games are bad. Like, holy cow, what have I been missing out on, huh? Or a lot of other people have been missing out on. I mean, come on. The people are dying to know, alright? Okay, this seems dangerous, but I'm going to try to do this. Oh, no! Ah! Damn, dude, I thought that was going to kill Mario, but it didn't. Alright, so, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We'll see you back for episode 2, where hopefully we'll finish off the Castle Foyer, alright? The Castle Foyer for the Castle for You, alright? This has been Lasley. See you next time. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Yes, go